Joseph Borrell said yesterday that Tehran's response to the European proposal in the nuclear negotiations was reasonable. We are now waiting for a response from the United States, a late response which is yet to come. What's the main issue for you?
I think it's pretty clear that the United States has its own internal problems. And there's also a lot of pressure on Biden by the Israeli regime and its supporters in Washington. So while the Europeans are on board and the Iranians are on board, it seems as if the Americans are not quite sure what they want to do, which I find quite striking because it raises the possibility that the United States is willing to sacrifice Europe at a time when there's an energy crisis. Iran's conditions are clear, and as Mr. Borrell said, they are reasonable. So there's no reason why the Iranians would back down. And winter is approaching, and the price of energy in Europe is high. As we speak, Iran would be able to export larger quantities of oil, and Iran would even be able to export some gas through Turkey. So if the Americans want to sacrifice the people of Europe, that's their choice. But if they think that the Iranians are going to relinquish, they're badly mistaken.
You said that removing sanctions against the Revolutionary Guards was not part of Iran's conditions. Are you asking for sanctions against businesses linked to the Guards to be lifted?
The issue of the Guards being on the U.S. Foreign Terrorist Organization list was never a precondition. But those companies and entities which are linked to the nuclear deal and which have to be, whose sanctions have to be removed in order for the deal to be fully implemented, they must be removed from the sanctions list.
Rafael Grossi said that Iran should give its response to the IAEA so that the open question from the UN nuclear watchdog is closed. Does that pose a new problem in the negotiations?
The case of false accusations must be closed before we can move forward with the implementation of a deal. If it is not politicized, it can be sorted out very easily. But we know that the United States has politicized this body in the past, so it's up to the United States what to do. Either they behave reasonably, Iran cooperates, the case is closed, or the United States wants to keep the case open so it can use it in the future. Then we won't have a deal.